It was the end of an era on ESPN this morning. No, 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 no. Stephen A. Smith did not get fired, though he has been noticeably absent from Woke Take the last 2 weeks due to surgery. Now, I'm not doubting that Stephen A. Smith had surgery. I do doubt the timing of the surgery. Just so happens he planned this surgery for Max Kellerman's last 2 weeks on Woke Take. But don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. Stephen A. Smith really likes Max Kellerman. He has lots of respect for him. Stephen A. called into Woke Take this morning to bid Max a final farewell. They are likely to never coexist in the same space again. ESPN is keeping Stephen A. Smith on their flagship morning show. Max Kellerman, on the other hand, has been relegated to the Milton role from Office Space, meaning ESPN couldn't get out of his contract, so they dumped him on ESPN Radio, the same ESPN Radio that no one listens to. That's where ESPN sends these on-air personalities that they have no idea what the hell to do with anymore. It was quite the awkward exchange this morning on Woke Take between Stephen A. and Max Kellerman. They tried to keep it congenial for the cameras, but everyone knows what the hell's really going on here. Max Kellerman is a lot of things. Dumb is not one of them. We'll get to that more in just a second. It was an awkward 90 seconds. Stephen A. is sitting there boosting Max Kellerman's ego like he's going on to bigger and better things. Max Kellerman's sitting there with this stupid, forced smile on his face, like he really wants to say how he really feels, but is just too afraid to do it. This is one of my problems with the mainstream media. Everyone knows what happened here. Everybody. Hell, Max Kellerman even pulled back the curtain a little bit during his farewell. He said that Stephen A. Smith has a lot of stroke as to who co-hosts First Take with him, and he chose him for the last 5 years. Now, how much better would this segment have been had they just been honest with their audience? I don't understand why the media feels like they have to hide what happened behind the scenes from the audience when the damn viewers already know what happened. They're not hiding anything. How much better would it have been if Stephen A. Smith had said, Max, it just didn't work out with us, and listed why it didn't work? Max Kellerman replies, they shake hands, segment and era is over after that. Instead, they go out there with this fake bloviating, the fake niceties and the lies. It's inauthentic. It's also the reason less and less people are watching ESPN and traditional media altogether, because they lack authenticity. More details have been released as to why Max Kellerman got his ass thrown off of First Take. This is all courtesy of Outkick, so I don't know if this has been substantiated by anyone else or if they have a source inside ESPN that leaks information like this to them, but I have a tendency to believe Outkick over most other media outlets. According to Outkick, there are several reasons Max Kellerman is being demoted. See if you notice a trend here. Reason number one, Stephen A. Smith felt Max Kellerman never took a side during debates. He wouldn't take a definitive stance. The reason the show was so successful with Skip Bayless is because Skip Bayless would take a ridiculous stance on something, and Stephen A. Smith would be the voice of reason. I know it's bad to say that Stephen A. Smith was the voice of reason, but this is Skip Bayless that we're talking about here. Both of them would get animated making their points. They would yell, they would scream at each other. It made for compelling television. They were a great duo. It wasn't like that with Max Kellerman. He was wishy-washy. He was afraid to say what he believed. I think Max Kellerman was afraid of Stephen A. Smith. The few times that he would take a definitive stance, he would get emasculated and embarrassed by Stephen A. I think Max Kellerman got to a point where he was afraid of the embarrassment. He was too weak to stand up for himself, so he started playing both sides of the fence. He started saying things he thought Stephen A. would like. Now, that's just my opinion. Outkick didn't report that. I'm just speculating. That's just how I see it. Reason number two, Max Kellerman is smarter than Stephen A. Smith. Now, this shouldn't need to even be reported. Anyone with a functional brain knows that Stephen A. Smith lacks in the intelligence department. Now, Max Kellerman doesn't know his mouth from the hole in his ass, because what comes out of both is the same thing. However, as much as I disagree with nearly everything Max Kellerman says, I'll give him credit. He is not a dummy. He's not stupid. When it comes to talking about social justice and woke politics, Max Kellerman knows what he's talking about. Now, he's wrong about all of it, but he is smart enough to make people think he's right. Stephen A. Smith, on the other hand, he just yells white privilege, and that's all he can say. Stephen A. Smith is woke because ESPN pays him to be woke. That's the only reason. All right, reason number 3, and I believe this could be the real reason Max Kellerman is gone. Stephen A. Smith doesn't respect Max Kellerman. He thinks Max Kellerman is beneath him. He doesn't view them as equals. Skip Bayless was his colleague. Max Kellerman was his employee. Big, big difference. According to Outkick, the only people Stephen A. Smith believes is on his level is Mike Wilbon and Skip Bayless. Now, I'm not sure what level Stephen A's talking about here. It damn sure can't be the intelligence level. Mike Wilbon and Skip Bayless, smart dudes. Stephen A. Smith, resident dumbass. So they must be talking about popularity level. With that being the case, who the hell is ESPN going to get to co-host this show now? 2 hours of Stephen A. Smith bloviating by himself is going to get old really quick. Who are they going to get? Just like we talked about this morning, ESPN doesn't have any stars. I saw someone on Twitter the other day say that Mina Kimes is a rising star. Really? Really? Mina Kimes? When has she ever said something substantial, something relevant, something that made people pay attention? When? ESPN has backed themselves into a corner here. Max Kellerman sucked, don't get it twisted, but they have really backed themselves into a corner. I asked you in the beginning to notice a trend in the reasoning that Max Kellerman's no longer on Woke Take. Did you notice the trend? Every reason had to deal with the ego of Stephen A. Smith. Much like the NBA, where LeBron James is in charge, it is clear who is in charge at ESPN. Stephen A. Smith pushed ESPN to go after Skip Bayless 3 years ago. Fox outbid him. But I really don't think Skip Bayless wanted to go back to Bristol. Stephen A. tried 2 more years with Max Kellerman. Wasn't working. So now he is a solo act with a rotating panel of guests. Michael Irvin is supposed to appear every Monday during the NFL season. But, what about the other 4 days? Who are they going to get? 3 years ago, ESPN won the battle when they didn't pay Skip Bayless, but Stephen A. Smith has won the war. He's got all the leverage here. He's got ESPN bent over a barrel. As dumb as he is, Stephen A. Smith knows ESPN doesn't have anybody else besides him. The other major stars in sports media, they're not going back to ESPN. You listen to a lot of these dudes after they leave. Dan Patrick, Mike Golick, Colin Cowherd, Bill Simmons. Most don't have positive things to say about the culture at ESPN. It is going to be interesting to watch the future of Woke Take unfold. In order for Stephen A. Smith to be truly effective, to be truly the character that he's become, he's got to have a foil. He's got to have someone to play off of, someone to set him up. Skip Bayless was excellent in that role. Problem is, ESPN doesn't have another Skip Bayless. All right, time to let me know what you think. Give me your thoughts on the awkward goodbye between Max Kellerman and Stephen A. Smith. Also, let me know what you think of the 3 reasons that Outkick reported as to why Max Kellerman was essentially fired. Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys later.